This is 5 on Your Side at 6. Focused on you.
Tonight, the families of 3 teenagers killed in a car crash in University City are deeply grieving. Just hours ago, we heard from the teens' parents and the owner of the home that the car crashed into. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush has the night off. People have been gathering at the site of the crash all day. 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings is there on Groby and Mulberry Lanes to show us how they're paying tribute. Travis.
Good evening. This memorial has grown larger in the last few hours. Just a little while ago, we saw family members, neighbors, and students are continuing to stop by, as you can see here, to pay their respects. It's going to be another sad night for so many.
It's just a horrible day.
It's unbelievable, unreal still. I'm still processing it. Yeah, it's a hard one.
As these parents mourn the loss of their children, flowers, signs, and teddy bears lay in the yard where the teens lost their lives early Wednesday morning. Dion Robinson, Johnny Ursery, and Demetrius Ingram, all 15, and all friends from Olivet who went to Ladue Horton Watkins High School. Missouri State Highway Patrol said the 3 were inside a Hyundai Accent about 7 a.m. when they crashed into the home here on Groby Road near Mulberry Lane.
It didn't hit the trees, it didn't hit anything else, and so what would have happened is most likely the person, that bed would have been right where those boards are now, and that person may have perished also.
Caution tape covers the brick of the vacant property that belongs to St. Louis City Alderwoman Sharon Tyus. She sponsored an ordinance herself for speed humps in her own ward and says she's reached out to U City to lend her voice.
But what we don't want to happen is another life, young or old, perish because they're coming around that curve.
Tyus urges the community to have empathy.
They lost people who they love. All of us have made decisions. We don't make the same decisions at 50, 60, and 70 that we make at 15 and 16. That decision should not have caused 3 lives to be lost.
It's support these families will need.
I send my heart out to the parents. It's very hard. I wouldn't wish this on nobody.
Yeah, and all of the parents in the school community are mourning this loss. If you take a look here, I just saw this mother and her son just embrace each other so tightly. In the meantime, University City Police is continuing to investigate this. They are looking at crash statistics for this intersection and other things that might have happened in this area. We're live in the county tonight. Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
Right now, a man is in the hospital after police shot him in North St. Louis. Investigators say it all started when they tried to stop a stolen car. 5 on Your Side's Mercedes McKay was at the scene and joins us live from police headquarters in downtown St. Louis. Mercedes.
And the shooting happened at the intersection of Dr. Martin Luther King and Byrd shortly after noon. Now, there were many victims involved in this situation, several of them innocent. Here's video of the scene that was just cleared hours ago. This is how police say it all started. A little before noon, the St. Louis Police's mobile reserve unit detected a stolen vehicle. Police tried to pull that car over, but it sped away. While officers were chasing the car turned around into oncoming traffic, causing a crash with 2 other vehicles that were trying to avoid the stolen car. The passenger of the stolen car got out, tried to run away, and then pointed a gun at one of the officers. The officers then fired at the suspect once, shooting him in the thigh. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Sack said the suspect had a semi-automatic pistol with an extended magazine. Now, this is something he says police are actually seeing a lot more of with many suspects.
Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot more of cases where offenders are using firearms with extended magazines. You know, a pistol, might have 10, 14 rounds in it, 17 rounds for our Berettas, but you could put an extended magazine and go up to 33.
Thankfully, all the victims are expected to be okay. This is still an ongoing investigation. It's being handled by the Force Investigative Unit. Live at police headquarters, Mercedes McKay, 5 on Your Side.
Clayton police have identified a man accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a woman. Now they're trying to find him. Jose Gomez Velasquez is charged with 6 felonies. A woman told police she was walking in a Richmond Heights neighborhood on August 30th when a man forced her to go to a nearby gas station, then to Oak Knoll Park at Clayton and Big Bend, where he sexually assaulted her. Investigators say the victim speaks very little English and has an intellectual disability. Police have stepped up patrols in the park and the surrounding neighborhoods. The Duchesne High School football team in St. Charles will not be taking the field for Friday night football tomorrow. That's because several players have COVID and some others are out with injuries. The team has 27 players on the roster. 14 are actually healthy enough to play. The athletic director saying, quote, "We did not think it fair to either team to try and play with only 14 players, so we forfeited the game and allowed Cardinal Ritter the opportunity to find another opponent to play in our place." He expects all the players to be back next week and ready to face Borgia on September 15th.
In just a week, United Auto Workers could be on the picket line. General Motors is one of the largest employers in the region with thousands of workers in Wentzville. But soon, things could come to a halt. Destina Coronel learns more about what's next for negotiations.
A potential strike is on the line. United Auto Workers could picket for more pay. Nationwide, UAW is negotiating with 3 big companies, including General Motors. These are UAW 2250 union workers in 2019 strike. It lasted 6 weeks. It's a blow that's on the brink again. The mayor of Wentzville says UAW 2250 is the biggest employer in the city of Wentzville. And if they strike, the impact could be huge.
We'll have a domino effect, not only with those folks, but also local businesses, because they eat, they live, they work, they buy houses here.
The Wentzville GM assembly plant employs more than 4,000 people. Workers want a 46% pay raise, a 32-hour work week with 40 hours of pay, and traditional pensions for new hires.
They just want to be treated fairly and paid fairly. As the economy's growing, everybody's getting raises, and the cost of everything's going up, food, the cost of goods and services. So they want to be compensated as well.
On Thursday, leaders at GM counteroffered.
Our offer includes guaranteed wage increases and a higher starting wage.
For now, a contract and a potential picket are up in the air. A professor of supply chain and analytics at the University of Missouri St. Louis believes a strike can be serious, especially now more than ever.
Previous strikes, the labor was much more at risk because they had less places to go. But if you're a skilled manufacturing technician, you can go other places.
Car buyers could also be limited with low levels of inventory.
We're going to see this very fast hit the economy. It's not going to take a while.
As negotiations linger, Wentzville's mayor prays for progress.
I'm hoping that they work this out.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
And on Sunday, there will be a rally at the Union Hall in Wentzville to fight for a strong contract. The national debate over student loan debt is heating up once again as college students return to campus.
President Biden's education secretary touted their backup plan to reduce the burden of student loan debt for low-wage earners yesterday. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, has new reaction tonight from 2 U.S. senators. Mark.
And Kelly, good evening. Student loan debt forgiveness was a major part of President Biden's political platform when he asked for your vote in 2020. He's desperate to cross that agenda item off his list before he asks you for your vote again next year. That's one reason his education secretary, Miguel Cardona, pitched the SAVE plan at his stop in St. Louis on the campus of Harris Stowe yesterday. But also just out of necessity after the Supreme Court said the White House and the executive branch of government just don't have that kind of legal authority. The dead end in the courts and gridlock in Congress makes the issue ripe for debate on the campaign trail as politicians try and build public support around the idea.
This is actually a burden on our economy. Forgiving student loan debt will help our economy, will help young people be able to get on with the next stage of their lives, and it's the right thing to do.
It's also patently unfair, quite frankly, to the truck driver who chose not to take on that debt, or people who paid off their student loan debt. That's more on the substantive side, which we should debate, and we should have that debate. But these administrative agencies can't just do what they want because they want to do it.
Senators Tammy Duckworth and Eric Schmidt both appearing on The Record. You can find their full interviews now on 5+ on KSDK.com.
Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville is expanding. Governor J.B. Pritzker took part in a groundbreaking on a new $105 million health science building. It will connect 2 existing buildings into one big building that will house the School of Nursing and the School of Pharmacy. Upgrades include state-of-the-art research, teaching, and nursing labs. It's designed to train the next generation of healthcare workers.
1/3 of registered nurses are expected to retire in the next decade, and employment demands in healthcare occupations is projected to grow much faster than all other occupations combined. This accounts for an estimated 2 million jobs over the next decade, and SIUE is ready to meet that demand.
The building is scheduled to be finished by the summer of 2025.
Let's get to the weather first forecast, and very appropriately, Tracy Henson joins us with her fall orange on because
I was thinking about that too.
It is, and you got your leather. It's kind of
you have your blue.
Yeah,
for the blues.
one of these things just doesn't
Hockey
belong.
season too.
But gonna feel like fall, and I know you're very happy about that.
Oh, I love it. I'm not a summer person. I think everybody knows that. And if you are, I question your judgment because who likes sweating like that? I know I don't. Averages today, temperatures today were just 2 degrees below average, so we're right where we should be for this time of year, and aren't we glad for it? So nice to see that cooler weather. The record high, I certainly wouldn't have liked that. That was set back in 1939 at 101 degrees. We have some clouds off to our east here, and those are starting to push away here. Otherwise, it's a beautiful day, and we're certainly getting ready for fall. Pretty soon, this view will have the haystacks up there and the haunted tunnel and plenty of pumpkins in it. Allergies are up, so weeds are high right now. It must be just the right conditions that our ragweed numbers really jumped up. Mold spores are moderate right now. Current temperatures at 75 in Alton, it is 78 in Chesterfield, so still quite warm really for 6 o'clock. Tonight, mostly clear, 61 degrees, nice light winds. Tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures around 80 degrees, nice and sunny for the afternoon. Really doesn't get much better than this, does it? All right, your St. Louis 7-day forecast for you here. We are going to be in the low 60s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and mid 60s overnight on Monday. That's thanks to a blanket of cloud cover that's going to come in and act a bit like a comforter and keep us a touch warmer overnight. Sunday will be our peak of the next 7 days at 84, and then we bring in just a few showers. That's mostly for Monday night, leading into a few showers for Tuesday. It's still a bit early to time this out, but the first outlooks for this are really showing that those showers are going to come in the morning, so I do expect Tuesday afternoon to be pretty nice for us. 78 degrees, and then a key thing here, we're going to see our overnight temperatures drop. This is really going to start helping our bug population out there that is really at its peak as well. So once we get into these cooler nights, that'll help keep those bugs at a minimum. Mid 70s for us on Wednesday, and then by Thursday, we're looking at around 78 degrees.
All right, thank you, Tracy. Here's Corey in sports.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
So far, the Cardinals have confounded everybody during this series in Atlanta. They've outscored the Braves 21-12 in their 2 wins, but will need to pull off some real magic tonight. Georgia boy Adam Wainwright makes his final start in his home state, looking to finally get win number 199. That game is just about 10 minutes from getting underway. Tomorrow, Tom Lehman and the rest of the field will be underway at the Ascension Charity Classic. Lehman has won 12 times on the PGA Champions Circuit, none since 2019. But he is a major champion, so he's not just some Sunday hacker. And that's why he's out pounding balls on the range, thinking he can win this week.
Well, I think I'm capable. I haven't done anything this year to prove that I am, but we all kind of know that we have that little something down in there somewhere that makes you a really good player, and you're always looking for it. And even at age 64, you don't stop working to try to find it.
The great John Daly played in a Pro-Am yesterday with members of the Blues. He sent a wayward shot over near the neighboring Lutheran North football field and was next seen kicking a field goal barefooted. Did you know Daly is still in the Missouri State High School record books from his days as a kicker at Jefferson City, Helias? The college football weekend starts early tomorrow night. Illinois and Kansas match up in a game made for Mizzou fan hate watching. The Illini barely survived week 1 with a nail-biter of a win over Toledo, but Coach Bielema actually likes that they had to sweat out a bit right out of the gate.
Give a lot of credit to Toledo after the game, and that still holds true today, but there were enough things for us, on all 3 phases of the game that let us win the game, but a lot of things that we can go correct. I think, in my 30 years in coaching, 15 years as a head coach, the best environment for a Sunday or the day after a game is to have a game that you win, but do enough things that you need to correct so they have a great frame of mind.
Kelly and Ann, that'll do it for sports.
And a big honor for a couple of local service dogs. Moxie has been named the National Hero Service Dog in 2023 Hero Dog Awards.
Moxie's a golden doodle who lives in Baldwin. She came to rescue her human, Katie Harris, who needed an ambulance. And she's not the only winner. Maverick was named National Hero Therapy Dog. He lives in St. Robert, that's near Fort Leonard Wood. He's a 105-pound Great Dane who works with the USO, offering comfort to to servicemen and women, and the two are among 5 finalists for the title of overall hero dog, and that winner will be announced in November.
Thank you for watching 5 on Your Side at 6. Have a great night.